up, nation? Hope you're having an awesome, not hungover type Wednesday. My name, of course, is Philip DeFranco, and this is where I talk about news, type stuff, and things that matter to me today. And the first thing I want to talk about today is the election is finally over. Thank you, Jeebus. And regardless if your guy won, let's just agree that this is a good thing that it's over. Let's treat this whole year and a half, 2 years of campaigning like it was a bad relationship. After this segment, let's just put it all behind us and look forward, and then maybe in 2-3 years you get really drunk, log on to Facebook and see if they got married and popped out some ugly kids. But here's most everything that you need to know about last night. 1, Obama won. Not sure if you already knew that. The thing I want to talk about here is not in fact the re-election of Barack Obama, but how he won. He won with 303 electoral votes to Mitt Romney's 202. That seems like a massive difference. That looks like he won 60% to 40%, but in fact that is nowhere near correct. He won by 2.5%. Or better put, he won by the simplified numbers 59.5 million votes to 57 million votes. And despite with both calculations you get the same result, this is another example of why the Electoral College must be done away with. Last night we did not have a repeat of the 2000 election. I was kind of crossing my fingers that the Electoral College and the popular vote would go against each other. If you don't remember, in 2000 Al Gore got 50.9 million and Bush got 50.4 million and actually still won. It just does not make sense that if Florida goes 51% to Obama that he gets that, and if North Carolina goes 51% to Romney, he wins that. The whole thing, that's insanity. I believe that most people that suffer from critical thinking understand why the Electoral College was there in the first place, but it has no place. Or if you want to keep your stupid fracking electors, you have to do it like Maine. Make it like Nebraska, and Maine has proportional distribution. But even in Nebraska, it's more complicated than it needs to be. They have 5 electoral votes to go to the statewide winner. So that's awarded to the guy that gets 51%. Then the other 3 votes go to the winner of each individual congressional district. Then we found out that saying things like the female body has the ability to stop rape babies gets you to lose. We saw that with Todd Akin, and then in Indiana we saw it with Murdoch, who said, or rather, people perceived what he said to be that God ordains rape babies. Turns out it didn't matter if he actually believed those words because he lost as well. Or as the Twitterverse put it, the Hoosier state aborted Murdoch. There was also a lot of big news with the props and things like that, but I did not want to jam it into this video, so if you want to see the big props that passed, failed, some lady senator business, that's awesome. I did a video with SourceFed's Joe Berta, so after this video, link in the description, check it out. It's a very good video. I'm lying, I haven't even seen it yet, but just check it out. And the last thing I want to mention for US politics for the next God knows how long, and it's less even about politics and more of a statement, Donald Trump is, or rather, in my opinion, Donald Trump is a whiny ass overreacting bitch. I mean, I don't care how much money you have, how successful you are, all of that does not change the fact that you fucking suck as a human being. We get it, you're angry, your guy didn't win the election, but really calling for people to march on Washington? Your relevancy is becoming that of the Westboro Baptist Church. It's just this stupid, annoying, just hate-filled thing on the side that people with common sense and critical thinking are aware of only because they're like, man, just hope to never become like that. And a final note on all this stupid election business to the Democrats, do not be pompous in your victory. Do not just believe in the president and support the president because he is the president. Be critical of him. To the Republicans, do not be angry and put up a wall and only see Obama as the villain. Because the main thing is, whether you like the guy, you don't like the guy, you respect the position of president or not, him being successful in that position is good for all of us. Next up, we have Sexy Time News. What if I just sang the whole show? And the first bit of Sexy Time News comes to us from Brittany Palmer, or as you may know her, that hot UFC ring girl. And judging from her new FHM magazine photo shoot, her hobbies include wearing thigh-high socks, stretching, and getting all the right kind of trashy tattoos put on her body. So if you want to check out that new gallery and also a super happy fun time sexy video, link to that down below. And our other bit of Sexy Time News involves Hump Day, or as I call it, Ass Christmas. And that involves our Instagram hottie of the day, Sophie Turner. Sophie's hobbies including laying down on the beach, staring at her phone rather than where the camera is pointed, but most importantly, yoga pants. Also, side note to the ladies of the nation, I know you've been requesting them for like a year. We are soon, maybe, kinda, sorta, possibly going to have yoga pants for the nation by the end of the year. I'm not sure. I just want to say, I've heard your words, I'm trying to do it, and I love your faces. Then next up, I received a picture in an email this morning, and I was like, oh my god, is this an exclusive clip from Star Wars Episode 7? You can see the Jedi Academy in the distance, and are those hover cars? No, it actually turns out this is a tourism project in Korea. Specifically, a $264 billion tourism project that would create a city on some islands that, they're not getting that much use out of. The project is scheduled to be completed by 2030, is being funded by the city and investors, and here's everything you need to know about it. It spans 80 square kilometers, which would make it the single largest tourism housing plan in the world. It will include a megastrip at 200 meters high, 880 meters wide, and 3.3 kilometers long. The city would be home to luxury hotels, condominiums, casinos, and theme parks, as well as shopping centers, a concert hall, and a Formula One racing track. And most importantly, everyone that rents a room there gets a private concert from Psy and/or this group of hot K-pop girls. Then in very awesome news, Xbox Smart Glass is finally available on iOS. If you're like, what does that look like? 1 second. Now the reason I'm using the iPad is simply because it's larger and you can see more. So right off the bat, you can see that, you know, I'm just swiping. This is how I get to individual things, go through my friends. Maybe I want to play a game, so I go here. The A button, the most important button in the world, is just everything. You can tap that, go into my games, it's good. B, Y, X, it makes it pretty easy. What I really like is the new edition of Internet Explorer. It gives you a bunch of featured things, makes it really simple, but the nice thing is right down here, a URL box, so that I can actually type on an iPad, which is good for typing, at least more so than an Xbox controller. From here I can go to sourcefed.com because it's the best site that I own. It loads it up, and you view it essentially like a normal page. Now you can move all this stuff like that. You can scroll doing that, and that's my favorite thing, is that it actually makes browsing on your console doable. Next up would be the dual screen experience. One of the better examples of this that we've seen time and time again is Netflix. So I'm in Netflix, I want to watch some more BSG because it's the best series of all time ever. Once again, I am showing you the iPad because it is larger. I actually prefer using my iPhone because that actually feels like a remote control, and while it is not optimized for the iPhone 5, it's still, in my opinion, a much more enjoyable experience. Then the other stuff is pretty basic. You know, what have I done recently? I can go in, I can see my gamer score on each different thing. I can go in and watch movies through this if I really wanted to. And that's really it. I mean, is it life-changing, revolutionary? Some people will say so. I mainly see it as a way to actually use something that they're giving us. Internet Explorer. Hey, I don't use the browser on my computer, but if I can actually search the internet on this using this, great. I can type and leave messages calling people douchebags in a much faster manner than using my controller without having to buy a $50 piece of thing that turns my controller into this ugly block. Fantastic. And on a final note, this is more of what I want to see, repurposing of things I already own to work with other things that I own. Is it something that justifies the purchase of a tablet? No, but is it convenient as all frack? Yes. And the last thing I want to say, just to echo the beginning of this show, oh, the election is finally over. We can finally get back to business as usual, bamfs and douchebags of the day. The sexy news, the international news, the world as we know it, so you can be more informed, or you can at least steal the things I say for a better grade in your classes. And remember, if you do not feel 100% filled in, I shot another video with Joe Beretta today, so check that out. It's 7 minutes long. I know you guys have become size queens as of late, so enjoy. And then of course you can also go to sourcefed.com for more in-depth views on the stories I talked about here, the awesome galleries, and just a ton of stuff I didn't talk about. And with that said, let me leave you to the question of the day today, which is, what is the best metaphor to describe how happy you are the election is finally over? Of course, to possibly get pelted in the face with a copy of Assassin's Creed 3, leave a comment down below, join the conversation, maybe hit the like button, favorite if you really like it. But of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco, you've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.